Recording in progress.
Okay. I will give you the brief introduction. Okay, what is Jenkins and the features. Jenkins is actually a open source automation server. Okay, it's a automation server. So automation server. It's widely used in DevOps for continuous integration and continuous deployment or continuous delivery. So it's a automation server widely used for continuous integration, that is called CI, and continuous delivery for CD. So this helps automate various parts of the software development lifecycle. Okay, so we mostly used for automating the various parts of software development lifecycle, including building, testing, and deploying applications. So these are the things. Okay, like building of application, testing of application, and deploying application to the infrastructure or the environment. Okay, so these all the things this Jenkins, okay, this Jenkins server automate. So Jenkins support integration with the multiple version control system as well, like
Hello, Tawfiq.
building. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, I'm audible, right, Mahesh?
Yeah, we can hear you both.
Okay. You're not audible for me. Only for Mahesh or
I can hear both you and Mahesh.
We can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Mahesh? I think you have some technical issue or anything like that. Yes. Mahesh, now you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, fine, fine. So Jenkins support integration with the multiple version control systems, okay, like build tools and test automation frameworks. So that will make it a core tool for modern DevOps pipelines. So coming to the key features, okay, like the features, key features of Jenkins. One is called extensibility plugins. Okay, so we can add or we can choose corresponding plugins functions. Okay, within the Jenkins, so we can use corresponding plugins there, like extend its functionality, enabling integration with the various tools like Git or build tools like Maven, Gradle, then deployment platforms like Kubernetes, Docker. So, what are the integration tools that we use? So, correspondingly, there is a plugin inside Jenkins. So, we need to enable or we need to install the plugin and we can integrate with the various tools. Then Jenkins pipeline as a code. Okay, pipeline as a code. Plugins like Kubernetes, Docker, Privy, Git, SonarCube, like that. Okay, as per the requirement, what are the tools that we use within our pipeline? We need to, or we should install the plugins, corresponding plugins. Then script. Script as a code. Script as a code means coming to Jenkins, we use declarative pipeline, okay, like Groovy. We call it as Groovy script. So using Groovy script, we will define what are the steps or what are the stages that we include or that we define within our application deployment. Okay, for example, it's a similar kind of a script. It's called a Groovy script. And inside the Groovy script, we will define the stages or the steps. Step 1 or stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6. So the stage 1 is most probably it's getting the code from the repository, then building, testing, any other, for example, code checking, then build Docker image. Finally, it's deploying to any platform like Docker or Kubernetes. So these are the steps of a software from code to the application. Okay. So these all the things we define as a Groovy or define as a script. And inside the script, we will define everything, the values, variables, and the details, names, everything we mentioned within the Groovy script. So the Jenkins will take over this and execute. That's actually happen within the Jenkins server, okay, using the script. I'm audible, right? Yeah. So that's a script as a code or a pipeline as a code. Okay.
Yes.
We called as pipeline as a code. So Jenkins support creating complex CI/CD workflows as code using the Jenkins file format. Okay. This file defines the stages and steps of the pipeline, improving visibility and version control of the pipeline itself. Then one of another key feature, distributed builds. Okay. So coming to distributed builds, Jenkins supports distributing builds job across multiple machines. That's called a node to optimize performance and reduce build times for large projects. Then the main feature is called continuous integration and continuous delivery. So that's taken by Jenkins. So Jenkins automate the integration of code changes from multiple contributors and runs automated tests to ensure quality, followed by automated deployment to staging or production environment. So the CI/CD parts, it's fully automated using Jenkins. So I will show the workflow, okay, how the Jenkins will do the jobs from scratch, okay. So these are the developers. So these three developers, okay, they will write the code for an application. Consider this is a WhatsApp application, okay. WhatsApp application. So they will starting the code for building the WhatsApp application. So day to day, they will push the code to their own a central repository, okay. So there they keep the application code. So everyone push the update or the day-to-day code to the central repository. Coming to organizational perspective, there is a organizational GitHub, I mean, central repository there. So consider this as a GitHub or any GitLab, anything, okay. Now I will showcase with the GitHub. This is a organization account, okay? GitHub. So coming to GitHub, they have their own repository for the application. The repo. Inside the repo, they will pushing the code. I mean, inside repo, there are a lot of folders, files, everything there, okay? The code belongs. The repos, inside the repos, the codes are there. So they will push the code before testing small modules, okay, daily. For example, coming to application, WhatsApp, they will starting with this small modules or interfaces. So everything they will push to the repository. That's part. I mean, these are the parts of a developers. So from here to the application deployment, okay, where the end user can access the application, that is the production environment. And this is the development, okay. We called as dev. And this is prod. In between, okay, there are a lot of operation sites are there. So here, I mean, the between with the dev and prod, the DevOps teams works, okay. So what are things that we need to do? We need to build a build automation server for the CI and CD. So we can choose any of the servers, okay, like any of the platform. So Azure, if you choose Azure, then we can use Azure DevOps. This is a Azure CI/CD pipeline, like Azure environment. So they will offer Azure DevOps there. Okay, so we can use that Azure DevOps. Inside Azure DevOps, we can use CI/CD pipelines and everything's there. This is the problem here is this charges cost. Okay. So next thing is open source application we can use. That is commonly used application is Jenkins. This is open source, so we didn't pay anything for using Jenkins. So yeah, in our course we will go with the Jenkins. Okay, so we need to configure Jenkins. So we need to configure Jenkins. So this is Jenkins server. So after installing and configuring Jenkins, okay, we need to create a connection between that repository or the GitHub with the Jenkins. So after configuring, what happened here? Jenkins continuously monitoring to the repository. Okay, this repository, and Jenkins knows if any code changes or new updates are there. Then what will happen? Jenkins will take the code and pulling the code. Then it will run the code. Okay, Jenkins will execute the code again. That means first we need to create a connection between Jenkins and GitHub. And before that, we already provide the application stages, okay, using coming to Jenkins, there are some jobs are there, okay, Jenkins jobs. So we can choose corresponding jobs like uh, freestyle. freestyle, then pipeline. So these are the projects. First, we need to choose which project that we need to follow with our application. Okay. So most probably we are going with the pipeline-based projects or pipeline-based jobs. So we can define every stages or each stages within the pipeline as a groovy script. So we can choose that thing. Okay. So for example, if we choose pipeline, okay, from scratch, okay, after configuring Jenkins, we need to start a project for WhatsApp. So what we'll do, we need to choose any job type. So the job type will be pipeline. So coming to pipeline, we need to define all the stages there. Okay, what are the tools, what are the environment we need to use or we should use for this application. So we need to provide everything within that pipeline script. Okay, so before that, we will talk with the developers teams to getting the required data or information that we need to put it on that file. Okay, that scripting file. That means this pipeline file. Then we will create the stages and everything. Then what will happen? The next thing is we need to integrate the next parts. I mean, next tools. Okay, so for example, if these codes like n numbers of codes are there from the GitHub. Okay, if some complex applications like similar like WhatsApp or Instagram, any application, that application have n numbers of codes. Okay, so before building application code, we need to analyze the code. Okay, so analyzing n numbers of code, I mean, from a user, I mean, from human perspective, analyzing n numbers of code is a complex thing and it will take too much time. So there is one automated process there. Okay, I mean, automating the analyzing of codes. So we can use one tool called SonarQube. So SonarQube will analyze the code. Okay, analyzing means, for example, if the code is a bit big, then we don't know what are the things within the code, like if any vulnerabilities or any bugs or any, for example, some security issues. Lot of things are hidden inside the code, right? So we need to cross check everything, like the code is good for production, I mean deployment or the next stage. So we need to use SonarQube for analyzing the code. So SonarQube will analyze the code with some rules. Okay, the rules means some predefined latest issues already within the SonarQube. So SonarQube will cross-check with any issues or any vulnerabilities with our existing code. Okay, so SonarQube will analyze and it will gives the feedback. Everything is good, or if any issues or vulnerabilities, then it will send the feedback to us. So we need to review that part of the code, or we need to send back to the development team. So they will rewrite the code and they push the code again to GitHub repository. So if everything is good in SonarQube, we can go forward. Okay, like next stage is we need to build the application. Okay, so the Jenkins will building the application with any build tool. For example, if it is a Java based application, we need to integrate Maven. Maven is another tool. Okay, Maven. So Maven will build the application. Then next stage we need to integrate. If we go with the microservice, then we need to build the application, right? Like for example, we need to build Docker images. So the Jenkins will, these are the stages that we already provided in the pipeline. Okay. For example, the stage here, first getting the code. That's the first stage. The next one is go to send the code to SonarQube to analyze. That's the second stage that we already defined the pipeline. The third stage is build the application using Maven. So that we need to provide. Okay. Before that, we need to configure every tools. Okay. Here the tools SonarQube we need to configure in Jenkins. Maven we need to configure. Then Docker we need to configure. So there are a lot of another tools. Okay, coming to CI/CD pipeline. As per the requirement, we need to integrate different tools. If any tools that we use, we need to configure before we need to configure within Jenkins. Then, yes, after building the application, we need to create a Docker image for the same application. So we need to use Docker for building Docker image. So that's all the parts done by the Jenkins, okay? Creating the Docker image, everything. So after building Docker image, we need to push Docker image to Docker Hub, right? Docker Hub. So that's parts done. Jenkins will do that job, okay? After building Docker image, it will push the code to, push the image, okay? Build image to Docker Hub. So the last part might be after building Docker image, we need to run the application to the deployment. So what are things like any platform we can use, like a virtual machine to deploy our application, or Docker, or Kubernetes. So these are all infrastructure we can use. And as per the application requirement, we need to choose corresponding infrastructure. Okay. So when we use which scenario we use virtual machine, some web applications, that applications runs Apache web server. So for that case, we can choose virtual machine. Then coming to the Docker Hub or Docker type application, then we can choose Docker or Kubernetes. So these all the infrastructure belongs to the production, okay, like VM, Docker, or Kubernetes. Anyone have any idea? This is a overview of high-level view of how we configure Jenkins and how we integrating with the different tools like SolarCube, Docker, Maven, uh, Kubernetes, GitHub.
Is the Groovy script like for Jenkins specifically?
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's not like a YAML, like a configuration. It's a
Right.
script
It's a human,
like
yes, human readable thing. So we can easily know what are the things that we are going to define.
okay.
Sir, for the last point, for deployment of the application, so we can use either Docker or Kubernetes or VM.
Right. As per the application perspective, like if a simple application, like before we like we deployed application three way, right? In previous classes. First we
You are
deploy
not
application.
audible, sir.
Voice is breaking up.
Give me a second. Yes, some internet problems are there. Now it's fine, right? I'm stable, my voice.
Yes, now it's stable.
Okay, fine. So when we, earlier we deploy application using virtual machine, right? In first I remember that. So first we deploy application using virtual machine. Then we deploy similar application using where like Docker Hub or Docker, not Docker Hub, sorry. Then we deploy application to Kubernetes. Three way we can deploy application directly. So we can use coming to Jenkins, we can choose any of these platform, like any of these infrastructure like virtual machine or Docker or Kubernetes. So as per the application complex, we need to choose corresponding infrastructure. You got it?
Okay.
Yeah, coming lab, we will deploy application to virtual machine, then to Docker, then Kubernetes using Jenkins.
And sir, what are the parameters on which decides which we need to go with the which application? Sorry, VM or Docker or Kubernetes. Like, what are the parameters?
Coming to the
You said
parameters,
complexity.
mostly we didn't use virtual machine in most of the case, only Docker or Kubernetes. So if the application like is a simple application or first we need to study the application, okay, how complex our applications. If the application is not much complex, then we can go with the Docker. Okay, if the application is complex, then we need to choose Kubernetes. The complex or the parameters that we go with, for example, that application have lot of traffics. Okay, so we need to make sure the application have high availabilities, high scalability. So these are some common parameters that we need to follow. For example, we need to scale up the applications, scaling up, like then load balancing. Scaling up means auto scaling. Okay. So if then we need to load balancer, then coming to security. So these are the concepts that we need to choose corresponding infrastructures. And when we choosing Kubernetes, we got these all things like scaling up, easy. These are the easy methods. Okay, auto scaling, then load balancing. We didn't bother about the load balancing, right? If you go with any manager Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Then coming to Docker, these, I mean, then we need to configure the load balancer and everything. Then, yeah, we can easily like scale up the application using pod autoscaler. There is a term there, okay, coming to Kubernetes, pod autoscaler. So we can use using pod autoscaler. We can easily scale up the application as per CPU utilization or network utilization, memory utilization. Similar scenarios are there. So as per the metrics, we can. So my screen is visible, right? So as per the requirement, which requirement? Okay, for example, one of the most application that runs in Kubernetes is Netflix. Okay, Netflix runs or use Kubernetes. So the application runs in Kubernetes. So there is a lot of users across the globe, right? To accessing this application, Netflix application. So they use or the most of the modern applications runs in similar like container orchestration like Kubernetes or OpenShift like that. Okay, you got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can jump into the installation process. Okay, from scratch.
Maybe you should repeat the last few sentences because the voice was scrambled again.
Uh, I mean the scenarios where we use the corresponding platform. Okay, so we need to know before we need to, thoroughly learn the application complexity, how we need to design the application, how much users that we expect for the application. So as per the concern, we need to choose corresponding platform. So most probably, coming to organizational perspective, we use Kubernetes for a development or that phase or small size applications like the application doesn't have much traffic, then we can choose Docker. Got it. More
Based on the size of the application.
right. Size in the sense of like complexity. Okay. Like for example, that application have lot of microservices like mm, like 50 or 60, 100, or I mean, coming to Netflix have around 800 something microservice. So that much containers that we need to run if we go with the Docker. So it's not a good idea, right? It's a complex thing. That's why they use Kubernetes. So Kubernetes will manage that much containers. So that way they use Kubernetes.
Sir, are there any specification which decides, like, for example, you just told us uh, uh, this Netflix has a 800 microservices it is using.
Hmm.
So, is there any count or any specification which we can go through, like for Kubernetes, like if the specifications of application is this, then go for Kubernetes. Otherwise, the Docker or the other the last one, the machine.
If you want a whole network, then yeah, go with Kubernetes. If you are just creating an image uh, so the word image comes from, you used to have a hard disk which had all the information on it. And what is that mirror image of that? So if you're creating a computer with a particular specifications, that's when you use Docker. So back in the day when people used to buy a computer, it would come in a box and with a bunch of CDs or floppy disks, and they would install everything on it the way they wanted it. That you created an image on your local machine. They didn't use the word image maybe back then.
Mhm.
But now you want to be able to create these computers all over the place. So that's why Docker is like it's a contain like a shipping container. It goes and just ports from anywhere to anywhere because it has that whole environment. It's not just that one software in it. So if you want a whole network of computers, you're going to use Kubernetes.
Uh-huh. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I mean,
Okay.
this is an oversimplified. I think Kubernetes is more sophisticated than what I understand it. So, yeah.
Yes. Before like Kubernetes or Docker, the application structure like monolith. Okay, the architecture of application. So this is a traditional. Okay, traditional application design like this. So these are the different services for the application. So all the application is coupled. Okay. So coming to microservice, it's decoupled. I mean, each service run different, like isolated. Okay. So this is the application architecture. So for example, this is a application like WhatsApp. Consider say WhatsApp, not WhatsApp. It's maybe can like it's a e-commerce application like Flipkart. So this is the front end, like where we use, I mean, where we browsing the application, seeing that products. Then this is a database. This is a backend. This is a cart. This is a payment gateway or anything like that. So all the services coupled, I mean, works, I mean, integrating with the single unit. Okay. For example, if any issues with the payment, we need to stop the application, right? Because all the application is connected or coupled. And the problem here is we need to choose any one of the program, only choose one program. Okay. Like one programming language to build this entire application. So coming to, I mean, modern, we use microservices, right? So for the same application, like not Netflix, for the same application, Flipkart, how we changing from the monolith to micro? Here, the payment gateway and every services is connected or integrate. I mean, coupled. Okay, here it's decoupled. So, for example, this is a front end application. This is a content. Okay, content 2, 3, 4 like that. This is a back end. This is a payment gateway. This is cart. This is store or anything, database. Some lot of services are there coming to application. So These are the other services, but it's all works as a single application. So we need to create a connectivity from like this, like this, like this. Okay. So for example, if someone this is a cart, so someone landed in the cart page. So next thing is payment. So we need to go to payment like this. We integrating the connection between each services. Got it. So here, for example, the front end, this is run right with the Python, the back end C hash. So here, what are the things is we can choose the corresponding language for each services. In this way, this monolith, only we can choose a single language. So there is a lot of troubleshoot when coming to troubleshooting issues. We faced a lot of issues there. Okay, coming to monolith. So traditional application still runs some legacy application in monolith way. So the modern application, all the modern applications are microservices. Okay, so that's where the Dockers and Kubernetes plays crucial roles. Then yes,
So the monolithic on the left side, that is more suitable for Docker because the whole container contains everything. But the microservice would be more suitable for Kubernetes because you are organizing all
no,
these.
coming to microservice, we choose Docker, Kubernetes. Actually, this section we can choose or VM. And traditionally,
Oh,
this application runs in virtual machines, right? Or the physical servers.
right.
Yeah, got it.
Taufik, I have a question.
Hmm.
So, for example, there is an application which is already exist, and
Yes,
I wanted
as
to.
monolith.
Sorry,
As monolith.
as monolith. So
Uh,
my question is, so there is already application exist, and I just want to deploy something, some different feature. Like you
hmm,
said, there is a cart that should be integrated to the payment. That's correct. I wanted to upgrade a new feature in the cart. Okay. So
hmm.
how are we going to deploy from the in the CI/CD pipeline just for the particular feature?
Okay, I will write that workflow.
Okay.
So this is our GitHub.
Okay.
It's connected with the Jenkins server.
Yes. We're going to clone the source code from the GitHub. So
Hmm.
which they are going to provide by the developer. Particularly for that
Application
feature.
currently the application is running. Okay, application
Correct.
running.
Yes.
So we already connected with the. For example, I didn't add any like another tools. Okay, we can directly deploy into production.
Okay.
Production.
Production or either QA environment, anything is
That we can add as per the requirement. But this is
okay.
just a workflow. Okay.
Yeah. Fine.
This is a
Understood.
Kubernetes. So your question is this application like this. Okay. That's your question, right? For example, this is the
Yes.
output where we abc.com.
Correct. That is application.
This is some searching bar there. Three
Correct.
pictures are there. Okay, this
Correct.
is picture one, picture two. And yes, this is application. Okay. So the search bar here and the two pictures seen here. So your question is we need to add something or add some other modules, right? Or services, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Another module you need to add.
Okay, got it. So yeah, then we can choose these as a module. Okay, like this is not a picture. When we clicking this like this point, we need to go to another service. Okay, for example, this is a cart. I can't design one thing. Okay, consider this is a e-commerce application. So these are the
Okay.
products. Okay, product 1, product 2, product 3. So if we click on any product, it will go to the product description page, right? And we can go to the cart. So yeah, this is application, and in background, okay, some other services. This is actually a front end, a microservice. Okay, one of the microservices is the front end. So
Yeah.
next microservice is like directly we can say cart, then payment. So the question is we need to add one more service, right?
Yes.
So if you need to one more service, is nothing. It's not our job. Like so, the developers, okay, the developers will taking the code from that's their job. Okay, the develop job, and they need to add one more services there. Okay, like uh, adding one new features like cart 2. Okay, consider like we need to not cart 2. There
Anything,
are a
some
lot of
barcode or
stuff.
something, anything.
Sorry.
Any barcode or something, any new feature which they wanted to add.
Any features. So that's the job of the developers. So they will adding the new features. Okay, so they will add the new features and they push to the GitHub. So their job is done. The rest of the thing done by Jenkins. Got it.
Got it. Got it. I know that is the process actually. My question is, the application is already running in production. That is fine. I just want to add a new feature, which is available in the GitHub. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to clone the new feature, and so through Jenkins pipelines, I'm going to deploy. So while deploying, so do we need to how do we need to do again that code validation with the Sonar Cube, and we need to create a image with a Docker
Yes, yes,
deployed.
yes.
Again, entire process we need to do.
That's all the process done by Jenkins. That's why we created a Groovy script. So
Okay.
whenever there is a new features or new code changes happen, for example, if they add in new features, that means some changes in existing code, right?
Mhm.
So the Jenkins currently is monitoring the GitHub, and Jenkins validate the current stage or
Okay.
current state of the application. I mean the code. If it's changed, I mean the state is changed, that means Jenkins knows something happened or something updated or something deleted in that GitHub. Okay. Similarly, we can remove the services as well. Okay. Just removing that features code from the GitHub. So Jenkins, what will do the Jenkins? Jenkins will take, I mean, pulling the code to Jenkins. Then Jenkins runs the pipeline. The pipeline means we already set up the pipeline, the Groovy script, everything is there. So what will happen? It will take the code. Then what is the next thing is analyzing the application code. At these times, our production application is live, okay? Because nothing deployed to the applications. So that's run only in Jenkins part, okay? So next thing is sending the code to some, for example, we configured that tools as well, okay? SonarCube, security tools are there, then Docker Hub there. So everything is done. So then the last part is deploying application to Kubernetes. At that time, it's a minimal time. The application might be down because the new releases are creating. Got it?
Got it.
Yes. So these are the things. That's why we use that Jenkins because it's continuous integration. This is a part of continuous integration means taking the code, integrating with another tools. You got it.
Okay.
And after that, we will send to deployment.
I will ask you.
Continuous. Yeah.
Okay. So creation of the pipeline is a one-time
Right.
creation,
Right.
or
Yes. Yes.
every time you need to create while
No. No.
releasing
No.
the new
One time. One
features.
time. For example, if we need to add more tools, okay. For example, we have existing pipeline. sometimes we need to add some new tools or new changing some app Ruby's code. Then we need to go to the pipeline script and adding the new things. Okay. Otherwise, we can choose the same pipelines.
Okay.
I think batch two we will deploy applications, right? Using the same way, and we added or removing some things, and yeah, there's a lab. I believe.
Okay. Batch 2, I think, is not there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Usually, actually, the DevOps engineer to work on that process, pipeline process, for a small feature deployment, how long you will take? What is the TAT for that? If he's a developer, see within 1 or 2 hours, he will write the code and no, 100 or 2000 or in 500 to 1000 lines of code. He'll write it and give it in 2 or 3 hours. So for validation of that code and deploying into the production environment, usually DevOps engineer will take. Correct? What is
Right.
the
Right.
TAT? What is the turnaround time will take by the DevOps engineer to deploy the small feature?
That's as per the application complexity actually. Different
Correct. I'm
scenarios are
asking.
there.
Yeah, I know that. I'm asking. Just it's a small feature. Uh,
It will take small times, like within 1 hour or like that.
okay. Okay.
Like we need to validate after the deployment. We need to validate. Actually, coming to the production, it's a before we need to create the change process. We need to getting the approval from the top level. And then we need to
Yeah.
create a bridge call with the um, different platform leads or the people who works like application team, operation team, database team. So on call, we on call we will release the new features. Like you got
Okay.
it,
I got it.
and
I got that process. I know.
that happens off business hours actually, like
Yeah,
night
that
time.
process. I mean,
Yes,
prior releasing, we'll be having call with all the, approval
yes, yes, yes,
and people.
yes.
That process I know. Are we going to add the testing criteria in the pipeline process?
We can use testing like unit test, J unit. We can use integrate J unit.
Because I was going through one of the roles and responsibilities of DevOps engineer in the Indeed, which when I was applying for job, so they were asking for the testing as well.
You mean the application tester?
Yeah,
For application
Selenium.
testing,
They were asking for Selenium as well.
Selenium. Yes, we can integrate Selenium within the pipeline.
Okay.
So the Selenium will automate that process.
Mhm. Usually for Selenium, people will write test cases, test script.
Right, right, right.
Are we going to do that one as well in the pipeline process?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I took too many questions.
So we can generally
So,
into the installation.
related to the Mahesh's question, it's like, are we supposed to write the code as well for testing?
Yes, that we need to define within the pipeline, the scripted pipeline. So the scripted pipeline will execute or will do the job with the corresponding tools that we integrated. In this case, it's Selenium.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So for starting, like Jenkins, we need to actually we will take that Jenkins code from the official Jenkins site and we will install that application within our server. Okay. So first we need to select or we need to configure any server. So I am taking server Amazon. Then from scratch. Okay, that's running fine. Then I need to log into that machine to install Jenkins. So I'm going to connect. So we can take the official documentation, okay, like Jenkins for Amazon Linux. Here we can see Jenkins on AWS. Click on that. So this is the official documentation, okay, how to follow. I mean, how to install Jenkins on AWS servers. Yeah. So the prerequisite is AWS account, keep pair, everything is fine. I am programming TSS. This is fine. Click to. Okay, so these are the steps, okay, to install Jenkins. So I'm copying. So this is adding the repository, okay, adding the repository of the Jenkins code. So that we added in our machine. Then importing key, copy. Key imported, and I just adding my server upgrade. Can I ask a question? Yes. Jenkins is written by Java. Okay, so we need to install Java too for running Jenkins. So I'm going to install Java 17. That's a version. After that, we can directly install Jenkins. Okay. So installing Jenkins, before installing Jenkins, we need to ensure that the Java is installed properly. Otherwise, that Jenkins, we can't install Jenkins. That's a prerequisite actually. Java is a prerequisite. Now it's installing Jenkins. I choose a free tier machine. That's why it's taking some lag. After that, we need to enable the service, Jenkins service, using systemctl command. Paste. Then starting. Same way we using systemctl command to run the service Jenkins. After that, we can check the status. At least two virtual CPU we need, okay, for running two virtual CPU and 4 GB RAM, I think. Otherwise, it will take hang and the machine still hang, I think.
Sir, in real time, we are not going to use the T2 medium or
No,
T2
no, no,
the
no, no,
standard
no,
one.
no, 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 no. Real time,
Okay, sir.
we will go with the higher ones, like as per the requirement.
Okay.
Different. These are the families. T2, T1, T2, and T3. These are the families. T families. Then C families there. M families there. So, choosing. I mean, we classified the machines different way, like compute optimization. Then, like different optimizations are there, like database optimization, power optimization. So as per the different scenario, we can choose corresponding machine type or machine family. Before that, we need to learn the applications or which scenario we are going to choose the machine. So that after that, we can choose corresponding machines. In coming to organization perspective, we will go with the higher machines like C5, C large, like that. See, here we face some issues like job for Jenkins service failed because timer was exceeded. That that the issues with the machine's configuration. So I'm going to scale up the machine. So before that, stop the machine. And I'm going to vertical scaling. Okay. I hope in previous section or some section, I think we go with the vertical scaling, right?
Sir, last time also you did vertical scaling. So horizontal scaling we do in what cases, like in which case?
Horizontal scaling means multiplying machines. Okay. Like it will create the same machines with the same configuration. For example, when we go with the mm,
For
like
multiple
app,
availability zones, is it
no, no,
like that?
no, 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 no.
No? Okay.
It's just creating one more machines. Okay,
Okay, one machine, but in case of vertical, you are increasing the resources. Am I
resources
right?
only, same machine and resources we are increasing.
That is vertical, and if we are increasing the number of count of machines, then that is called a horizontal
Horizontal
scaling.
also, yes. So
Okay,
see,
sir. Thank you.
when coming to horizontal scaling, for example, when we have an application, that application we configure that application. I will. There are some scenarios. Okay. Um, when we use load balancer, we create a target group, right? So inside the target group, we added that uh, like identical servers. So there is some rules that we can provide to the load balancer. For example, if the traffic is high, okay, like for example, the CPU load of that machine, specific machine, how the CPU will high. There are several scenarios are there, like a lot of load hitting or the traffic hitting to the server that will sometimes causing the CPU high. Okay, so the application will hang for the user. So what we'll do, we need to we need to scale the application, right? If the application is production, then how we go with the vertical scaling, because we need to stop that machine, right? So in this case, see, the machine is stopped. So that means the application is not accessible for the users. So that cases, the application that comes under the production, we need to scale up with horizontal. So we can there is some we need to provide that details. Okay. So for example, the CPU utilization of that that machine, some machines exceed above 80% or 60%, then create one more machine. So the I mean the Amazon, or yeah, the Amazon will create one more same machines, and the load balancer routing the traffic to the newly machines as well. If the CPU utilization is below, then what will happen? The Amazon will automatically remove the newly created machines, and there is a current state on the desired state there. Okay, so the desired state, we need to mention the actual desired state, and that means how many machines that we need. So that is two, okay, two or three. So if the CPU utilization is high, then it will create fourth mission or sixth mission that we need to set, okay, like up to 10 or 20 like that. Got it? Or
Yes, sir.
confused? Okay. So I'm going to vertical scaling, go to instant stage, change. I'm going with the T2 medium, okay? So choose medium and change.
Sir, I have one question. Uh, I mean, are we supposed to get any kind of message from the AWS, like automated message, like, okay, this thing needs a vertical scaling, or
No, no,
like
no, 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 no,
something
no.
like that?
All,
No,
all things that we need to define.
we need to identify.
Yes.
It's not like
But but but
the
but
clients, they get the monitoring feature, so we don't get the monitoring kind of feature from AWS. Like, I mean,
yeah,
no facility.
we can
We
monitor the
by
resources.
ourselves manually, right? But not
Right,
like
right, right.
okay, okay, okay.
For example, coming to monitoring, okay, there is a CloudWatch there. That's one of the monitoring features offered by AWS. So we can monitor using CloudWatch, we can monitor the CPU utilization. For example, if the CPU utilization is above 50 or 60 or 70%, then it will send a message like mail or a confirmation to the users, like the CPU utilization is above, go and check like that. Okay. So we need to go to check the machine and verify how the CPU is increasingly like that. So
So it will
based
send
on the
message
role,
to the clients, like the customer, not to us.
customer means
Like the clients.
okay.
So they CloudWatch or whatever is needed. So they send messages to the clients, but not to us, right?
No,
We
no,
won't
no.
get any message from AWS, right?
No, no, no. We will get I mean the details, not the clients actually. We are
Okay.
delivering client application, right?
Yeah.
So we will get the I mean Amazon mail, all the things we will
Okay. Okay. Okay.
still confusion.
No, no, no. Actually, I was reading about the services provided by AWS to the clients for their ease for monitoring. So they
Clients in
told
the
us,
sense of we are the clients
like the
actually.
users, not the engineers like us, like DevOps. No, the users. The
Mm-hmm.
clients, the customers, I would say. Right. So they get the pop-ups and the messages from AWS, whatever is needed, and from the monitoring services. But I was just thinking, like, are we also supposed to get something like that for our help, or like we have to go to the CloudWatch and see what's going on, like that?
Mm-hmm. Understand. So in my perspective, I mean in my organization, for example, we have multiple clients are there. Okay, so we need to deploy their application to the any provider. So we will provide that thing. Like first, we need to choose a corresponding cloud provider like AWS or Azure. So uh, we will take that account. Okay, under the organizational account. So we will get that AWS account or Azure account. We log into our own organizational credential using my name, then at the rate of my organization name. So that's our organization. Okay. So the account belongs to our organization, not the client organization. Clients are different. Some other companies like Pepsi or like any Flipkart or any other company. That's our client actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so we will take their application, we will deliver their application to the end users. So if anything
Hmm.
happen with the cloud environment, they will send to the my organization only, not the client actually. But we will provide that for example, they will like we can provide the monitoring platform or dashboard to the client as if they are required. That means we will share the dashboard of any obsolete tools, like we can share to them. But that's all the parts. The monitoring parts also we will deliver actually.
Yeah, adding to that the point for Pooja question, we have different the monitoring tool in AWS which is going to provide to the end user, that is CloudTrail, AWS X-Ray, and AWS Guard Duty. It's many things. So only
Right.
thing you need to configure the setup, that you need to get a pop-up message when their CPU is up, our application is down. Those are the
Right.
configuration system which we need to do.
Yeah, but those messages will go to the user, right? Not to us.
That is also that will comes under configuration. Which user that needs to get the pop-up message, either
Hmm.
end user.
Yeah, we can add that too. Like if we send that to the client, then we can add their own like credential for the notification. Okay.
Yeah.
But most of the
Oh,
case we didn't send that thing to, because that's all our duty, right? If anything happened, then we need to configure, or because they will provide everything, right?
right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
So I'm going to start Jenkins once again. Now it started. Okay. See how quickly it started. We'll check the status. Yes, it's active. So the Jenkins runs port number 8080. So we need to open the port number 8080 to access Jenkins application.
Sir, we need the details of the ports as well. Like, can you share the document which you shared during the class last time for the Kubernetes? Like, there are ports
I will share. I
specific.
will share. I will share.
Yeah, and are like the ports are gonna same in this case as well. The numbers. I
This is
mean,
a
are we
default
gonna
one.
use the
Default one
same
for Jenkins.
different one? Okay, okay, yeah,
Default,
makes sense.
default, default, default port number.
Default. Okay.
Yes. So we can access the application. So 8080. Can anyone try 8080? I am sending via chat. It's accessible, right? I mean, Jenkins.
I don't see the message in the chat.
Yeah, no message.
Yeah, unable to
Only,
access.
yes, sorry, I'm meeting chat group. It's loading, right? I'm Mahesh.
Yes. Yes, slowly.
Okay. So Mahesh, can you share the screen? I have some privilege issue. From tomorrow, I
Yes.
will choose my personal laptop, okay? Because most of the classes coming forward, we use different CI/CD
I
pipeline.
think you have to stop sharing that.
Yes, I will make you host, I think.
Yeah. Already,
Okay, this
already
is yes. All of you can see, right? My screen.
Yes, yes.
So this is the landing page after we configuring Jenkins. So we need to provide the initial password for Jenkins. So there is a command to getting the initial password, so that the AWS documentation we can see at last. The AWS, I mean that Jenkins initial passwords belongs some directory, okay, in our machine. So we need to paste that thing, that command within in our same virtual machine that we install Jenkins. So we will get that password, then copy the password and paste it on that dashboard, okay. So Mahesh, I sent that password in the chat. Can you paste it on? Yeah. So I shared the password with the administrator password with Mahesh. So this is a customization Jenkins. So we can go with the suggested plugins. Yeah. If we some cases we know that some plugins that we need to install. So in that case, we can go with the second one. Okay. So there we can choosing the corresponding plugins as well. Otherwise, we can go with the suggest one. Then we can go to the plugins dashboard in Jenkins and adding the plugins. Then we need to provide user admin password, email, and everything. And save and continue. Then we will, our Jenkins will ready for yeah. So now we will landing to Jenkins dashboard. So this is a dashboard, okay. So here where we building applications, managing Jenkins, configuring Jenkins, everything. Got it. Yeah, where we adding plugins. This is a dashboard to add plugins like Docker or Kubernetes. Type Kubernetes or yeah, Docker pipeline. So as per the requirement, we need to add the corresponding plugins. Got it, all of you.
Yes.
So anyone have any doubt regarding the installation process?
No doubt.
No.
Okay, then tomorrow we can deploy application, okay, using Jenkins. And I mean automate the CA part and CD part. And we will check the automation is working fine or not. I mean adding some new features or like that to the existing application. So if anyone have any doubt, if not, then we can wind up today's section, right? I think time is too late to you, all of you.
Sure. Have a good night, everybody. Good morning, Tawfiq. Thank you for the class.
Yes.
Actually, hi.
Hi.
This is my first time actually joining with you guys.
Okay. I think all of us can leave.
Yeah.
Monsu, you stay, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Hi, Monsu. Monsu,
Yeah.
that's the name, right?
Monzu, yeah.
Okay.